My name is Cassandra Ross and I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs! And I also reside in Jacksonville, Florida. I learned to sew I was in the 9th grade in high school in home ec, and my mom put me in that class and I absolutely hated it until I figured out that we were going to be sewing, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is the class for me. And I loved it ever since. As I grew up, the person that I kind of said I want to kind of be like when I kind of went through the sewing journey is, of course, Mimi G. But as I started branching out, I also saw Miss Anita, and she happens to be my baby lock sew sister, and I love all her makes, and I actually kind of have aspired some of my makes behind her that I have in the works, and so that's kind of been the person I looked up to as I've gotten older. So a sew sister is kind of what I would call like my sewing sister, somebody that, hey, if I have a project I want questions on, I can go to that person, and I kind of see that person as my family or as my sew sister, because that person sews and I sew, and so we're sew sisters. My all-time favorite project would have to be that bomber jacket. I was so proud of myself when I did that bomber jacket. I sewed that jacket in a matter of like 2 hours. That jacket is completely lined, and so that was my first time doing a lined jacket, but the fact that I was able to do it and do it in less than, you know, an 8-hour day it was awesome for me. So that would probably have to be my proudest make. I also did that kind of jumpsuit that I did on the Baby Lock IG takeover. That would have to be my second favorite outfit that I've done. To keep myself motivated as a maker, I would have to say that once COVID happened and I started making all those masks, I lost my sojo. And what I considered my sojo to be is like my motivation to sew. And so I lost it. I didn't touch a machine for a good 3 or 4 months afterwards because I was just so burnt out. What kind of kept me going is being in these Facebook groups and all the pattern groups, and I would see that they would come out with a new pattern. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that would look great with this smorgasbord of fabric behind me. And so that kind of got me back going, and I started making small stuff. So since everything was shut down, I kind of just started off with pajamas. Like I have pajamas for days now. But now that I have Thread Crate, I know a lot of people are like, don't you get burnt out? And my answer is no, because sewing is my passion. Had it been something else, I probably would. But I enjoy interacting with people. I enjoy sewing. Sewing is fun. Sewing is my therapy. So I don't get burnt out from it. But I will also say is find things that you love to make. Even if you make pajamas, even if you've made 50 already, I still like making pajamas. You can never have too many pajamas. So I find motivation in things like that, finding new fabric, finding something that's kind of out my comfort zone to make. That kind of keeps me going. My name is Cassandra Ross, and I'm a baby lock maker.